It all started in the under-17s at PSV Eindhoven for Noni Madueke. Rising his way through the ranks, snakes and ladders, climbing his way there. Under-19s, under-21s, and then to the first team for the Eredivisie outfit. And he established himself as the starter for PSV. But one thing that all players and fans knew, he wanted the Premier League. He wanted the return. And he got it. 35 million euros to Chelsea Football Club. But it didn't last long. Not enough goals, not enough creativity, not enough consistency. And only at the end of last season did Enzo Maresca see him surplus to requirements and said, you can leave the football club. Now, Noni Madueke had a decision to make. Does he fight and prove to people why he can play in the Premier League? Well, yes, he did. Because who came calling? Mikel Arteta, paying around £15 million for the England international. And since then, people have come out and slammed the deal. People didn't want him at the football club. But now, are people starting to believe? Noni Madueke, the rise of the right winger that is now stamping down his claim to be a real England international. Guys, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe, because Noni Madueke, for me, has to have a video made on him. I've had the energy for Elliot Anderson, and rightly so. Elliot Anderson has shown that consistency over the 9-10 months at Nottingham Forest, and now establishing himself as an England squad player 100% after the 2 games. Well, one player's also matched him, and that is 23-year-old Noni Madueke. Because, guys, I think his start to the season has silenced a lot of critics, has silenced a lot of doubters. I've never been a doubter of Madueke. I've never thought he was poor. I've always thought Noni Madueke can thrive in the right environment, but he needs to show consistency. But after that season for Chelsea last year, where he thought he would probably remain at the football club heading into the 25-26 campaign, he was told he can leave. He was told he was no longer needed. Esteval arrived. Alejandro Garnacho arrived. There's competition now for places. João Pedro arrived, and he wanted to go elsewhere. But he didn't just go elsewhere. He went to a team that are challenging for the Premier League. He went to Arsenal. And some people question it. Some people said, what are they doing? Arsenal need a proper out-and-out left winger that's going to start 90, 100 million pounds. Rodrigo, Eze, who they got, whoever it is, Rafael Leao, some people wanted. But they've always needed cover for Bukayo Saka. But it's not about just having cover for Bukayo Saka. It's about having quality cover. And Noni Madueke right now, and what he's showing so far this season, is quality cover. He is now a player that you're looking at so far after 3 games for Arsenal and 2 games for England, and you're thinking, do you know what? If Saka does get injured, I'm not so far worried. Because what Noni Madueke has shown so far in this first month of the season is that he can be a top player. In the right environment, he can take his opportunities and be a creative outlet. He can be threatening. Yes, he's got things to improve in his game, maybe with the final end product and adding more goals to his game, as Thomas Tuchel said. But you can only go out there and perform on that football pitch. And so far, Noni Madueke is doing that. And I think, do you know what? The first thing to do is go out there and play and perform when you know that a lot of people are criticizing you. Let's be real, people. Footballers are humans. Yes, they get paid well, but they're still humans with feelings. And Noni Madueke would have seen the criticism online, would have seen the doubters, would have seen Arsenal fans not happy that they're, the board are going out and signing him. And it's not the way you want to feel when you're coming into a new club. You want to feel welcome. You want to feel loved. And Noni Madueke didn't quite have that from the off. But what he is doing right now is he's showing the Arsenal fans, look, you can doubt me all you like, but I'm going to show to you why Mikel Arteta spent the money on me. I'm 23. I want to get into the England World Cup squad. I was talented at PSV. Yes, I only got show glimpses of it at Chelsea. But guys, I know that you've got Eze there now. I know that you've got Saka there. They're 2 of my very good friends, but also I'm competing with Saka for that spot on the right-hand side. But it's not just competing with Saka for the spot on the right-hand side. It's about harmony. It's about chemistry. And now Arsenal have got 2 players on that right-hand side that both want to win. And when you're friends, what's better than winning together? Arsenal have not won the Premier League in over 20 years. They are begging for the Premier League. They got to the semi-finals of the Champions League last year. But we saw injuries, hindrances in the last 2 seasons have hindered Arsenal in terms of going to that next step, that next level. They've lacked the cover for Saka, and I'm talking quality cover. Nwaneri's coming through. He's very young. You can't give him the keys just yet. Now with Noni Madueke, an England international, 23, played in the Premier League, ready to take his game to the next level. It seems like it's a match made in heaven. And now you've got players like Madueke and Saka competing with each other for a spot, but also being friends and wanting to win together. That's the perfect combination. It's not going to be a tit for tat of why am I not starting. Madueke understands Saka is the main guy for England on the right-hand side and the main guy for Arsenal. But he's not got a problem with that because he's like, I'm coming into a team where I'm going to get game time. There's the Carabao Cup, there's the FA Cup, there's the Champions League. And he seems to have taken that under his wing and said, yeah, do you know what? I'm at least going to go on that pitch and I'm going to show what I'm capable of when I'm playing for Arsenal. And we saw it. He was one of the main outlets for Arsenal in that game against Liverpool in the Premier League before the international break. He was the guy for Arsenal that you're looking at and saying, right, give him the ball, make something happen. I've had Arsenal fans in my ear, look, don't shoot me. But I've had Arsenal fans in my ear saying, look, I'm not actually fast if Saka's out for a bit longer. If Madueke carries on this form, Saka might have to try and get himself back into that starting 11. Now, look, I don't agree with that. Saka will come back into the starting 11. He's established, he's proven, he's done it for years. But the fact that some Arsenal fans are even saying that to me, it shows you that they've been impressed with the young 23-year-old winger. And for me, I have been impressed. I like what Noni Madueke brings because I like his unpredictability. He's a left-footed on the right-hand side winger, similar to Saka, but they give you, I can come inside. They give you, I can go outside. They've got the speed to take on their player 1v1. We saw it when Madueke was playing for England over the international break, especially in the Serbia game. The first 5 minutes, we saw intent. You know, we saw bravery. We saw confidence. And that is one thing I will say about a winger as well. You've got to remember, people, a winger has a lot of 1v1 isolated situations. And a confident winger is always going to want to take on their man, commit their man, drive at them. And even if they don't get them past them all the time, they're showing the fan, they're showing the manager, look, I want to get the better of him. It's a 1v1 matchup. I'm going to beat you. And I know another winger spoke about it recently. I can't remember. It was what Kudus. Kudus is obviously at Tottenham and he plays on the right-hand side and he prefers it there because he said, I love having a 1v1 matchup with the opposing fullback. And that's the confidence and drive that Madueke is showing on the pitch for Arsenal right now. Yeah, they lost to Liverpool, but individually his performance was good. You know, they played Leeds, they dominated Leeds. Saka got his goal, but then he went off injured. But Madueke still come on and made an impact. But I think in terms of the expectation of what fans thought and what Madueke so far showing this season, he's been very good. I think there are parts of his game in terms of adding goals, adding more assists to his game that he can work on and improve. And I think Thomas Tuchel has also come out and said that. And I think as a player like Noni Madueke, he's going to want to do that himself as well, because I think a lot of people look at stats. I'm not a stats man, really. I look at what a player can do on the pitch. But if you can add stats to your performances, then that's when you're laughing. And we saw him do that for England when he got his first goal against Serbia. And it meant a lot to him. You could see, you know, him shouting, the expressions. And he thoroughly deserved it. You know, he got the cross and the own goal against Andorra. But he said, I don't want to claim that as my first England goal. I want to go out there and do it myself. And what a brilliant move it was from Elliot Anderson into Morgan Rogers into Madueke. 3 players that are now finding their way into the England setup, all combining for the goal. And what a finish it was. That was the confidence of Madueke for me. I loved. He cut across his defender and then he dinked the keeper. He made the right move in all those transitions, a touch out of his feet and then driving across the defender, because he made the defender say, right, I'm either going to have to make a great tackle in the penalty box or I'm going to have to give away a penalty and get a red card because it's a goal scoring opportunity. And he made the right decision saying, look, I'm going to give you the pressure, Noni Madueke, of putting the ball into the back of the net. Put the ball in the back of the net. He did. What a finish that was. And that wasn't a finish of anyone that's just, yeah, I'm going to put the ball in the bottom corner. I want my first England goal. He done it. And if anyone watched Britain's Got Talent a few years ago, you'll remember the winner of Britain's Got Talent, Axel Blake. What did he say? In style. And that is what Noni Madueke did with that finish. You know, a lovely dink finish. And I think he's deserved it for his start at Arsenal and for what he's done at England level so far. And I think what probably works as well, it goes hand in hand, is that you've got now 2 right wingers for England that play at the same club. They're training together, they're growing together, they're thriving together, you know, and they're playing in the same system. So then when it comes to England and when it comes to Arsenal, they're basically together all the time. So it's a like for like. You're not really having to adapt too much. Madueke knows what Saka's good at, and he can try and improve his game. And Saka might take parts from Madueke's game that he can try and improve as well. So you've got 2 players now in the culture that are playing together at club and international level, and both hopefully looking to thrive. And the big benefit of that, Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. That is the big benefits of it. You've got two players competing. You've got two players that give you great squad depth, players that can add goals and assists, and two England internationals who are under the age of 25. What's there not to like? And I just think Noni Madueke so far, his start to the season has been really good. It's been really strong. And I think that, you know, at Arsenal, he looks happy as well. I'm not saying that Chelsea didn't look unhappy, but, you know, the fans can be restless. They demand to win. Arsenal, yes, they demand to win, but they don't have a lot to show for it in terms of winning. Chelsea do, of course. But Arsenal now want to become that winning team. They want to take on Liverpool for the Premier League. They want to take on the European giants. But I just feel like Noni Madueke looks happy. He looks like he's enjoying his football. He's enjoying his time under the new manager. The harmony at Arsenal suits him, and the crowd and the demographic and everything it is. You know, it makes you feel at home. And Eze's gone there already. And he said, look, Ian Wright said it to me. It's a family club. It's a family home. He's gone from Crystal Palace to Arsenal, and he probably feels exactly the same way he did at Crystal Palace. Because look at the ovation Eze got. That was beautiful. The song, let it all work out, you know. And you've got, you know, three very good, talented England players there, and Eze, Madueke, and Saka now, all at Arsenal, all looking to challenge for that Premier League title. So that mentality, that breathing confidence, that winning feeling is going to happen a lot at Arsenal. And now they're going to put that into the England team and hopefully try and take England as far as they can in the World Cup. But I think Noni Madueke, in terms of himself, I'm excited to see what the future holds for him in terms of this season. I think the big question mark is, can he keep up this form? Can he remain consistent? The answer is we don't know, and we won't know because we have to discuss it at the end of the season. But in terms of his start right now at Arsenal fans watching this, make sure you like and subscribing, by the way. I hope you're enjoying the video. But you've got to be happy with the start. You've got to remain measured. You've got to remain composed. I'm not going to shout on here, Noni Madueke, the next big thing. I'm not going to do that. But in terms of the pressure he had when he signed for Arsenal, the backlash he got, he didn't quite lift off at Chelsea. It was hit and miss moments. I think what he's shown so far in his first month is better than what he's shown in probably the last year and a half since he come back to the Premier League. So I respect it from Noni Madueke. And, you know, as a football fan, I want to see attacking players playing with confidence. I want to see attacking players doing well. And even though I'm a Manchester United fan, I like to watch and analyze my football. That is why I made a Thai sports channel, because I want to make football on all type of teams and all type of content. But I think Noni Madueke so far, I have to respect the start of his season. And let's see if it can continue. Let me know what you think in the comments, people, especially Arsenal fans watching this, even England fans as well, and football fans in general. Noni Madueke, have you been impressed with the start? Do you think he can maintain that consistency? And maybe is the environment at Arsenal just the perfect type of place that he needed to be and call home? Guys, like this video, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bless up.